You may have heard about psychic attacks, but maybe up until this point, you haven't really put much thought into it because whether it's because you don't think you would ever be the receiver of psychic attacks, or maybe you're just simply not really aware of the importance of protecting yourself against psychic attacks. Now, maybe you're already actually experiencing psychic attacks and you're wondering why you, because out of all people, why would you be the receiver of psychic attacks? I used to actually think the same way when I first started my spiritual awakening journey. I never put much thought into psychic attacks. I heard about them, but I really never thought that I would be the receiver of an attack until it was too late. Psychic attacks can truly cause a lot of havoc in your life. They can actually be very devastating and can have an immense impact on your life if not caught early or if you let them go on for too long. Because if not stopped, they can absolutely cause a lot of problems in your life. And in this video, I want to share with you some insights into what exactly are psychic attacks, how do they happen, and what kind of impact can they have on your life. Because like I said, you want to be aware. If you're going through, let's say, a challenging time in your life right now, and you're wondering, why is this so hard right now? What is going on? And when it comes to psychic attacks, it usually has an impact on your life very quickly, where all of a sudden, from one moment to the next, your life starts to fall apart. And you're sitting there, you're seeing everything kind of crumble and falling apart. And there's nothing you can really do to stop it because you haven't changed anything. Nothing has happened. But all of a sudden, from one moment to the next, all of a sudden you're noticing that your life becomes so much harder. And that usually stems from a psychic attack. So if you're experiencing any of those things, if you're experiencing any challenges in your life, then this video may shed some light onto that maybe you are the receiver of a psychic attack in this moment. So let me share with you what exactly are psychic attacks and how do they happen. So psychic attacks is when another person sends ill will or negative intentions to another person. And this can be because of jealousy, this can be because of envy or hatred, or because they're just feeling triggered by something. And oftentimes, a lot of people that are sending ill will and that are causing a psychic attack, they're not even aware of what they're doing. It's happening all unconsciously. And especially the more people are working with energy, the more intention they're putting behind certain things, the more negative intensity is behind their emotions, all that amplifies these psychic attacks. And that's what then carries over to the receiving end, that person that these negative feelings are geared towards. So, like I said, a lot of people, they're not even aware of that they're doing that. But yes, you often have those people that are actually consciously aware that they really do want that other person to fail, to get hurt, to lose everything, or just have a not so good life. So there are those people that are actually consciously aware of it. They're actually doing it on purpose, sending psychic attacks. But a lot of people, they're really not aware of it. And those negative energies, they're then basically being sent to that other person, and it's affect their energetic field, and it starts affecting their life. It can cause havoc in their life. So some of the things that can really happen is that it can affect your health, it can affect your finance, it can affect your business or career, friendships, love relationships. Every area of your life can be negatively impacted by psychic attacks, where from one moment to the next, everything was going good, and then all of a sudden, you're starting to see your life just starting to fall apart. Things don't go the way they were supposed to be going, and everything becomes harder. You're experiencing hardship and challenges, and it's like this massive downward spiral that you can't seem to get out of. No matter what you're doing, you can't seem to get out of it. That usually is caused by a psychic attack. Now, of course, it can have other things as well, other reasons, but what I have found is that when something happens so quickly and so intensely, that usually is because of a psychic attack. And the way they happen, now I already kind of allude to it, like when someone sends negative energies. And here this could be because, let's say someone holds a grudge against you, or someone is jealous about you or what you have in your life, what you do. Now, this could also actually be past life and soul contract related, a karmic related as well, where you're attracting certain people and in order to clear something, in order to learn a lesson or something like that, if they're holding a lot of negative energy towards you or negative feelings towards you, that can also then cause psychic attacks. Now, another good example is, let's say you are online. Let's say you're an entrepreneur or you're just very visible online. Let's say you're very visible on social media, or for example, me here on YouTube, right? If you're doing something like that where you're very visible, you then attract a lot of eyeballs, and you're also attracting eyeballs of people that may feel triggered by what you say, by who you are, by how you show up, and things like that. And that can also cause people to then, send ill will towards you. And this can even be people that you don't even know who they are. And the thing is, the more you're visible, the more you can attract those eyeballs. And if someone, let's say, doesn't like what you do, what you say, how you show up or anything like that, they may be triggered because, not so much because of you, but what you're triggering within them. It's their own stuff. And that then can cause that ripple effect of them actually sending negative energy to you. Now here, quick question. Have you ever had thoughts about, oh my God, I wish this person would struggle really hard, or I wish that person wouldn't have such a good life, or I wish that person would break their leg, or things like that? And it's okay. We're all human, right? If you've ever had thoughts like that, now a thought is the beginning, right? But let's say there's a lot of emotion behind it. You think back at someone that really hurt you. Maybe you've gone through a divorce, or you had a heartbreak, or someone cheated on you, or treated you really badly, disappointed you, or anything like that. Or maybe there's even some more traumatic events as well. Those people that did those things, you most likely hold a lot of negative energy towards them, right? And the thing is, if you then if you have those feelings, that too then can actually cause you then to send negative energy towards them. And the more sensitive the receiving party is, the more it will affect their life. Especially empath. And now going back to talking about you as on the receiving end, if you're an empath and a highly sensitive soul, you are very sensitive and receptive to energy, right? So we are often a sponge to all kind of energy, negative energy, good energy, the in-between kind of energy. And the thing is, if you don't protect yourself from psychic attacks, it can really cause a lot of problems in your life. And here the thing is, protection does not do anything if you're already receiving psychic attacks. Think of it like that. You wouldn't put an alarm system in your house and lock the doors if you already have a burglar in your house, right? First, you would have to get rid of the burglar and then put the protection around your house, the alarm system, locking your doors, locking your windows and everything to keep anyone from coming back into your house. Well, it's the same thing with your energy field. If you already are receiving a negative energy, those psychic attacks, putting a barrier around there, putting that orb of white light, that protection around you is not going to do anything if you're already being affected by psychic attacks, because it's already within your field. And that's why it's important to then do something about it, become aware of it. If you're noticing that there's a lot happening in your life that doesn't make sense, you don't know why that is, you're feeling very squeezed and pushed and pressured and negative, and you're just not feeling all right, you may want to investigate, because if you let these psychic attacks go on for too long, they can cause absolute havoc in your life. And one thing that you may have experienced, or one thing that I have experienced in 2023, is that there has been a lot of psychic attacks happening for myself. I have been the receiver of many psychic attacks throughout this year, and I've also seen it with my clients and with people that I talk to. There has been a lot of psychic attacks, and the reason why that is because we're going through this massive awakening. We're moving into the Aquarian age, and there's so much, we're like in this in-between stage right now, and there's so much awakening going on, but a lot of people don't know, they don't understand, and it's especially the more they start working with energy and tapping into their gift, if they have unresolved issues towards another person, those inner wounds that you may have not healed from, or that they may not have healed from, when they start waking up and start working with energy, start playing around, that then amplifies those negative feelings. And that then can send out these ill wills, those negative intentions, like I said, knowingly or unknowingly, consciously or unconsciously. And then the receiver, that other person, if they are very sensitive to energy, well, they get smacked by that psychic attack, and then they have to deal with it. And unfortunately, there is still so much anger, so much hate, so much frustration, so much overwhelm in this world. And it's going to continue. And that's why it's so important that you do your work of protecting yourself, cleansing your energy field, doing something to protect yourself. If you are noticing that you may be the receiver of a psychic attack, to really maybe even get help to clear that out, to work with someone that has knowledge about clearing out psychic attacks, because you don't want to keep that around for too long, or it's going to really negatively affect your life. Now, I have a playlist that I want to share with you. It's a playlist all about psychic attacks. There are also light language activations in there as well to really help you with the cleansing, the clearing, and then also the shielding. Now, if you are experiencing psychic attacks, that may be a good starting point. But if you feel that that is not really helping you, then I really want to invite you, seek help. Go get with a healer or a psychic or anyone that can really help you, really clear your energy field, cut the cords of all of that is affecting you right now, any psychic attacks. And if you would like my help, there's a link in the description below. You can book yourself a transformation healing session where I can assist you in clearing out any negative energy that you might be holding on to that is maybe in your field that is causing that havoc in your life. Really cleansing out any psychic attacks. Like I said, if that is of interest to you, there's a link in the description below. But I hope that this video gave you some insights now into psychic attacks and how important it really is to be aware, really become absolutely crucially aware of your energy field. Whenever you're feeling that something is pushing at you, something doesn't feel right, all of a sudden you're noticing that your life is kind of getting bumpy, things are falling apart, you want to become crucially aware of whenever something doesn't feel right in your life. And then you want to investigate. Yes, it could be that you're maybe going through somewhat of a purge, that maybe you're going through somewhat of an ascension period or whatnot, but here too, you may then still want to then tune in a little bit more to really find out, okay, is this my stuff? Is this coming from me, or is this coming from outside? Now, in the beginning, it may be a little harder for you to really determine, is this yours or is this someone else's? But here, just keep practicing, keep tuning in, really get to know your field. Get to know your field whenever you're feeling okay, when everything is great. Think back at a moment when your life was just absolutely amazing. That is kind of like your baseline, right? You want to base everything from that point, like anything that is different from that point, that baseline point, you want to then base it on that. So if you're feeling anything but how you felt on that base point feeling, the good feeling, everything was going great, that is then a really good indicator that maybe there's something really pushing at your field. Maybe there is really something interfering with you. Maybe there are some psychic attacks at play here, and then you want to do something about it. Believe me, you don't want to let this go on for too long. When I had my very first attack was back in November of 2022. My life in 2022 was absolutely amazing. And all of a sudden, basically from one moment to the next, all of a sudden, things started to just fall apart. I was losing client after client. My money was draining. My health started to decline from one moment to the next. And the doctors, they didn't even know what was going on with me. I mean, it made no sense. Like I said, I didn't think that I would be the one that would actually receive any psychic attacks. And it was not until, I think, March when I really figured out that, hey, I think I am the victim of a psychic attack. But it had already gone on for 4 or 5 months. So it took me a while to really get out of it again. And then it was like there was one psychic attack after another this year. So I learned a lot about psychic attacks and how to cleanse, how to clear, how to protect yourself. And now I know how important it is that even during times when I'm feeling absolutely great, to continue my protection. And I want to really invite you to, because in the beginning when I started with my spiritual awakening journey, no one really told me how important it is to protect myself. So I want to bring these topics to you to help you understand how important it truly is to protect yourself. Because if you don't, you're open to all that negative energy, and it can cause a lot of problems in your life. So I hope that this video gave you some insight, gave you some clarity, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, do me a favor, hit the like button. And I would like to know from you, have you experienced more psychic attacks this year? Has your life been a little crazy this year without any clear explanation of why that's happening? I would love to know. Leave me a comment below. But I want to thank you for being here, for allowing me to share this topic with you. And like I mentioned earlier, if you need some extra help, book a transformation healing session. I would be honored to assist you in clearing out anything that is impacting you or holding you back from really moving forward, because psychic attacks are no fun to deal with. So definitely do something about it. Well, if it's not me, then get help from someone else if you feel like that you're being negatively affected by those psychic attacks. So thanks so much for watching. Be sure to check out this video. Here is another video about psychic attacks. It's a clearing activation actually to help you clear out any negative energies that are maybe in your field already. And I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. Until then, make an amazingly abundant and joyful day. Namaste.